Are you ready for some positive parenting tips? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to be a cool parent. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good family relationships all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. I don't know if I'm cool or not, but I do know what makes a really great parent. We're going to be talking about that. Depending on which child you ask and how old they were at the time, you might hear a different take on whether mom was actually cool. Now, did I do everything that every other parent did? Absolutely not. But did we have good relationships and have fun times together? Oh yes, we did. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to develop those good family bonds, how to create a positive environment in your home so that your child actually enjoys being with you. I've got some great tips for you, but first let's talk about what it means to really be cool. Anytime I think of the word cool, I think of Snoopy with his glasses, Mr. Joe Cool, you know, and looking like that guy who's got it all together. But I don't think that the parent is supposed to look like Snoopy with cool glasses necessarily. Whether you have cool glasses or not, I don't know. My glasses are not very cool. I will say that. I probably should work on that. But I will say that parents who know what it is to be a parent are actually the coolest parents to their children. Many people think to be cool, they need to be like the child. Not so. If you are like the child, then the child is on an equal playing field with you when it comes to the instruction and the correction and all the things happening in the home. And then there's a lack of respect. As soon as the child does not respect you and your position in the home, you are suddenly not cool anymore. You might be fun to hang out with and be treated somewhat like a peer, but you're not a cool parent, and it's going to end up creating a lot of problems. Years ago, I wrote this book, Parenting a House United. It's the one I'm the most known for and has definitely sold the very most copies. But another bestseller I wrote shortly after that book called Roles: The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. I wrote this book because I thought when I wrote this book that people understood roles, family roles in particular. And then people kept asking me questions. Things like, well, what if they don't care? What if they won't talk to you? What if they don't listen to you? What if they don't take you seriously? And I thought to myself, that's a roles issue. Do people not understand the roles in the family? And you know what I found is that for many people, the answer was no. They didn't understand the roles in the family. So I had to make this book so that they could see a family sort out their roles and get them in the right place. And when I say roles, I'm not talking about responsibilities. I'm not talking about who takes out the trash, who makes dinner, who goes to work, none of those things. Anyone can make dinner, take out trash, or go to work. Those are just responsibilities. Now, it could be that we take on certain responsibilities because we see our role in a certain way. A role is actually your identity within the family. You've got to maintain that. If you do not maintain that, then everything falls apart. People who establish and keep their roles in a good place in the family have a functional family, usually better communication, conversation, and experiences as a group. People who do not understand their roles or maintain respect for all of the roles in the family, including the role of child, which is a different role than parent, obviously, then those families end up experiencing dysfunction. So how do we keep function in our family? We remember who we are and we maintain our roles. That's actually one of the things that we have to do on the road to becoming cool in our parenting. So I never wanted to be my child's friend. That wasn't my plan. Many parents say, I want to be their friend. That would make me cool, right? If I just focus on being their friend. Well, I think that's what Dr. Benjamin Spock thought when he wrote his book years ago and ended up being the father of the new hippie generation at the time, and people rebelled against family. And now we find ourselves at a place where we think that that's normal behavior, but it's not true. Before Dr. Benjamin Spock popularized the idea that a parent should be their child's friend and not their parent, we actually had children wanting to grow up to be their parents. They looked to their parents. They went to their parents for advice. Sure, not everybody was perfect. There were problems and, emotional things, physical things, financial things, just like now. But The children understood that their goal was to become like the parent, so they took the parent very seriously. They honored the parent's role, and the parents honored the child role by teaching the child all the time. They didn't withhold back teaching. When you're focusing on being a child's friend in order to be seen as cool, you will often withhold teaching, comments, or instruction that could benefit this child who's in a learning phase. You end up not respecting their role by withholding teaching and just letting the child be lost and wandering, just wild and abandoned. That's often what happens in homes where parents try to see themselves as children too by being the friend. Maybe the parent feels like, well, then I don't ever have to grow up. Well, that could also be another problem. If you're worried about having positive interactions with your children, and that's why you're focused on being maybe cool, and you're hoping that that will improve the interactions, just so you know that as soon as you get your roles in the right place and you make a plan for how you want to deliberately follow through with your parenting, then everything feels a lot better, and you're actually seen as a more relevant or valid authority in the lives of the children. They actually want to be around you more. Now, obviously, in order to have great experiences, we need to have a plan for where we're headed. In that first book that I held up, Parenting a House United, I talk about creating a vision for the future, what I call a 20-year vision. So when the children are adults and you're a bit older, and you're all adults, what do you want that relationship to be like? Create a vision for that. Help them understand that you're going to that place. You're not stuck in all these little teeny moments, these behavioral battles that seem to be facing you every day. That's not the end all for you, as making them perfect in the moment. No, you want a certain relationship in the future, and you're headed in that direction. If you set your course and then develop skills to help you get to that place, you will be respected a whole lot more. You will also have less power struggles. You will manipulate your children less. They will feel less worn out by your presence. They will feel like life is more predictable, and they will start to take more ownership of their own behaviors by developing self-government themselves. So what about when we have problems? How do we solve our problems with the children and do it in a more positive way? Because there definitely is the way to do that. Now, if you've already subscribed to this channel and you've been listening to all of the videos here, you know that I talk at length about how to correct children in a way where you can feel closer during and after a correction than you even did before. But let's just go into some of the nuts and bolts of doing positive, optimistic, connective type corrections so that your children can see they really do need you as that parent figure, and they're sure glad that you're in that position in their lives. So one thing you want to not do is react. Don't react. When a child has an issue, maybe it's a behavioral problem, they've made a mistake, don't emotionally react at the child. Don't take it personally. Stay calm. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give you a gift that you can use to help with your calmness. So don't worry, there's more to come there. So what do you do if you're not going to react? Well, you describe. Get in the habit of just describing situations, and don't emotionally describe, just logically describe. Like, okay, so right now I gave you an instruction and you're not looking at me, and you're not keeping a calm face, voice, and body. Those are the first two steps to following an instruction. So I see you're choosing not to follow instructions. Now, I didn't read anything into their hearts, their feelings, their emotions, nothing. I just said, this is what's happening. This is what I did. This is what you did. And this is what that makes it look like. And then after you describe what happens, then you say, okay, well, this might be why you don't want to do it that way. And you give them a reason why. That's a rationale step. After the rationale step, then you will tell them what they should have done. Give them an instruction that comes back to one of the skills that you've already taught them. So in the Teaching Self-Government Parenting system, we teach 4 basic skills to children and 5 teaching styles. So you could bring any of the steps or principles contained in these skills to the child's attention to help them better solve their problem. Then you are going to make sure that if there's a consequence, they accept it. Now, I have whole videos where I talk about consequences and what I think are the best types of consequences and which ones will not work and will cause problems for you, could even lead to power struggles. I'm not going to go into detail there. I'm just going to say then comes the consequence step. But then after that, there should be praising that occurs, and for accepting consequences, there should also be practice of doing things the right way. Again, go back to the skills that you've taught your children. That's going to be beneficial. After the practices, then you're going to praise the child some more, and you're going to let them know that this is all okay and move them forward with a positive attitude. I think the biggest thing is step number one. Step number one is you've got to be calm yourself and not take it personally, right? That means you have to tell yourself, hey, I signed up for this. I had the child, okay? And when you have child, you have to teach them. That's just part of it. So you just embrace it, you accept it, and you decide to love it. And then you focus on your own calmness. You prepare yourself to do all the teaching that is necessary. So let's talk a little bit about that calmness. Remember how I said that I have a special gift for you? Well, I do. That special gift is my Calm Parenting Toolkit, and you can have it right now for free. In the description below this video, there is a link to the Calm Parenting Toolkit. Now, this is a mini course. It is not my entire TSG parenting course. In fact, it's only like one lesson out of that course, and it's 10 tools that are contained in that one lesson. But it will start you in the direction of self-government and help you improve your calmness so that everything else can improve too. So if you click on the link in the description below this video, the link that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit, then you can have the Teaching Self-Government Calm Parenting Toolkit for free. Click on that link now. I'll see you there.